In the summer of 1798, the world was about to witness one of history's most audacious military maneuvers. A diminutive French general named Napoleon Bonaparte, fresh off his victories in Italy, was setting his sights on the east. But to get there, he had to first take control of a strategic jewel in the Mediterranean, the island of Malta. What followed was a swift, cunning takeover that would reshape the course of the French Revolution and leave an indelible mark on Maltese history. Napoleon was a man on a mission. Fresh from his Italian campaign, he had his eyes set on Egypt, a stepping stone to challenge British dominance in the region. But before he could set sail for the Nile, he needed a secure base, a stronghold that would protect his fleet from British interference. That stronghold was Malta, an island strategically positioned at the crossroads of the Mediterranean, just south of Sicily. At the time, Malta was under the rule of the Knights of St. John, a military order that had withstood numerous sieges, including the infamous Great Siege of 1565. The Knights had fortified Malta with some of the most formidable defenses in Europe. However, by 1798, the order was a shadow of its former self. Its ranks depleted, its leadership divided, and its resources stretched thin. Napoleon, ever the strategist, knew that a prolonged siege could jeopardize his entire Egyptian campaign. So he devised a bold plan. On June 9, 1798, his armada of over 400 ships appeared on the horizon, carrying an invasion force of more than 30,000 soldiers. The Knights, taken by surprise and vastly outnumbered, quickly realized that their defenses, as strong as they were, could not hold against such a formidable force. But instead of opting for a bloody siege, Napoleon resorted to diplomacy. He approached the Grand Master of the Knights, Ferdinand von Hompesch, with an offer: surrender Malta without a fight, and the lives of the Maltese people would be spared. The Grand Master, facing internal dissent and seeing the futility of resistance, reluctantly agreed. On June 12th, after only a few days of negotiations, Malta capitulated to the French without a single shot being fired. With Malta now under French control, Napoleon wasted no time in implementing revolutionary reform. The centuries-old feudal privileges of the knights were abolished, and the wealth of the church was seized to fund his Egyptian campaign. The French introduced principles of the French Revolution, including the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, to the island's administration. Schools were established, and the Maltese people were promised equality, liberty, and fraternity. But not everyone welcomed these changes. While some Maltese embraced the new ideas of liberty and equality, many others, particularly the clergy and the nobility, resented the French occupation. The confiscation of church property and the imposition of new taxes sparked widespread discontent. The French garrison in Malta, though formidable, found itself increasingly isolated and unpopular. As Napoleon sailed on to Egypt, leaving a small garrison behind, the situation in Malta began to deteriorate. By September 1798, the Maltese, encouraged by the British and the Kingdom of Naples, rose in revolt. The French, now under siege in Valletta, found themselves cut off from supplies and reinforcements. The Maltese insurgents, using guerrilla tactics, harassed the French troops, who were gradually worn down by hunger, disease, and constant skirmishes. In the months that followed, the British, seeing an opportunity to weaken their French rivals, sent a fleet under Admiral Sir Horatio Nelson to support the Maltese rebellion. Nelson, fresh from his victory at the Battle of the Nile, initiated a blockade of the island, effectively trapping the French garrison within the walls of Valletta. French soldiers, now desperate, were forced to eat their horses and even resorted to cannibalism to survive. After nearly 2 years of relentless siege, the French garrison, now on the brink of starvation, finally surrendered on September 5, 1800. The British took control of Malta, and the island would remain a British protectorate for over a century and a half. Napoleon's swift takeover of Malta, once seen as a brilliant tactical move, had ultimately failed, leaving the island in the hands of the very power he sought to challenge, Great Britain. Today, Malta stands as a testament to its resilient history, a small island that has played a pivotal role in the grand chessboard of European politics. Napoleon's brief occupation of Malta was a crucial episode in the larger narrative of the Napoleonic Wars, highlighting both his strategic genius and the limitations of his empire. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's lesser-known but fascinating events, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Your support helps us continue to explore and bring to life the stories that have shaped our world. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. How do you think the outcome of Napoleon's Egyptian campaign might have changed if he had never taken Malta?